In this second talk, we come to think about the penitent thief, and I'm reading on from the passage which we heard from a little moment ago. Beginning at verse 39, we read, "One of the bad characters who was hanging there began to insult him. 'Aren't you the Messiah?' he said. 'Rescue yourself and us too.' But the other one told him off. 'Don't you fear God?' he said. 'You're sharing the same fate that he is. In our case, it's fair enough. We're getting exactly what we asked for. But this fellow hasn't done anything out of order.' Jesus, he went on, 'Remember me when you finally become king.' 'I'm telling you the truth,' replied Jesus. 'You'll be with me in paradise this very day.'" It's strange, isn't it, how different people respond to the same evidence. It seems clear that the two criminals knew something about Jesus. Who wouldn't in that day? Jesus was a little bit of a celebrity. Just think of his entry into Jerusalem and much of his, on Palm Sunday, and much of his arrest and trial seems to have been public. Just think of the baying for his blood that very morning on Good Friday. "Crucify him! Crucify him!" And they may well have known, of course, Barabbas, who was the man who was exchanged for Jesus by the will of the people. But of course, the most striking thing is that one of the criminals says to Jesus, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." What did he mean by that? Well, his theology may have been hopeless in every sense of the word. But what is even more striking is Jesus' simple reply. "I tell you the truth. Today you will be with me in paradise." When Jesus says, "I tell you the truth," he means this is how it actually will be. Jesus doesn't wait for every T to be crossed and every I dotted before he accepts somebody into his family. Paradise sounds pretty good to me. When the Old Testament was translated from Hebrew into Greek, some 200 years before the birth of Jesus, paradise was the word they used to refer to the Garden of Eden. Some people feel that Jesus let the criminal off too easily. He's a rotter. Why should he be able to be forgiven right at the last minute? Why should he be able to say, right, I've lived all these years doing all sorts of horrible things and now you're accepted? Why? Well, a little earlier in the passage, verse 34, Jesus had said some very striking words. "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." How many people in our world today would that apply to? Perhaps you could use the next few moments to pray for those who you believe need to have their eyes opened to the forgiveness that is offered to them by Jesus. Turning to the order of service, do join with the response. Is it nothing to you, all you who pass by? Look and see if there is any sorrow like my sorrow, which was brought upon me, which the Lord inflicted on the day of his fierce anger. Holy God, holy and strong, holy and immortal, have mercy on me.